all my lovely angels. This is your girl Sim back with another episode of the Sim Squad. Hi! So today I have like perfumes which are blast from the past, right? Everything that I used to use before and kind of I've like sort of kind of been sleeping on it. They were like forgotten, and then I'm like thinking to myself, why exactly did I forget these perfumes, right? Because I do love all of them and I do want to start using them. No, I'm not decluttering these. I love these perfumes, all of them, and I'm going to use them, but I need to like understand why I've not been reaching for them. And also kind of like a refresher of all these old perfumes that I used to absolutely love and adore. Just let me know if you guys have any of these perfumes or if you've tried them before and used them before. So let's start off with like something which was not like loved by everybody, but I loved it especially because like recently, remember I told you guys about the henna, the art we do on the hand, the dye we put with designs and everything. Now when you use that henna on the hand, it dries off, and it's better for it to keep staying on your hands till like it actually starts falling off and everything. Now to avoid it from falling off, what we used to do is make a mixture of lemon juice, sugar, and eucalyptus oil, and then we used to dab it with cotton on the henna once it's dry, and that used to help the henna stick longer and enhance the color, and then once that henna peels off and falls off, or you can just wash it off the next day or something, the henna would become like really dark. Now this is the smell of that liquid we make with the lemon, the sugar, and the eucalyptus oil. Like I thought Mazaaji was, oh, I just gave away the name, okay. So Mazaaji, so this is your bottle of Mazaaji. It's a very pretty bottle. I've used quite a bit of it, but like it doesn't look like I have, but I have, because it is a very, very, very potent perfume. Like just 2-3 sprays of this and you're set, because it's really, really strong. It is categorized as a floral, and also the design on it, it's like a floral and everything. It reminds me of like an Elisa perfume, right? Like perfume royale, whatever it was called. The top notes for this are orange blossom, jasmine, which are my two favorite notes in perfumes, in florals. Middle notes are floral notes again, and rose, and the base notes of powder and white musk. So I don't know where that orange or that lemon, not even orange, that strong lemon scent, they have not mentioned it. They say orange blossom, but this literally has like lemon and can clearly smell it. It does smell like not even bergamot, it smells like lemon, right? So it is compared to Van Cleef and Arpels California Reverie. I hope I'm getting that right. Reverie or Reverie? Reverie, I think. Initially, when I got this perfume, it was so sharp, and that citrus note in it was unbelievably strong, and it was still reminding me of that liquid thingy that you put on top of the henna. Now that's just the opening, right? But then the florals, of course, the floral combination of orange blossom and jasmine, for me, it's like, how will I not like this perfume, right? It's been with me for almost 2 years now. No, not 2 years, maybe like just over a year, or maybe a year and a half, right? This is one of the first few perfumes I had bought from Latafa, and I especially love the bottle, and it's very, very reasonably priced as well. Now it's become like very, very floral, but that lemony thing, it stays throughout, and that lemony thing does not make me feel, it doesn't remind me of cleaning products or these washroom fresheners or something. It doesn't remind me of that at all, and that's why I like it a lot. And on Fragrantica, this had got 4.49. So I'm not the only one who actually like loves and appreciates this perfume. There are a lot of people. Now these scores, they're a long time ago, like, because these perfumes I had reviewed them like quite some time ago, right? So yeah, for me this one is like a spring summer fragrance. Actually, honestly, I would wear it in any weather, as like during daytime, during any weather. But I would prefer like to smell this on people in summer because it's very fresh floral. It leans quite feminine. The longevity, I would say, is around 8 hours for sure, because after, imagine the time it has macerated, now over a year, right? The next one we have is Ramz Gold. That's again from Latafa. By the way, a lot of these perfumes are Latafa, because there was a time I was just reviewing Latafa perfumes. Actually, I should be thankful to Latafa, because my channel actually took off because of the Latafa perfumes. Like initially I started doing like anything and everything. I used to have perfume reviews, makeup review, games, life, everything. And once I started doing the Middle Eastern perfumes, that's when I actually started getting a lot of followers, and The channel started growing, I started getting more engagement and everything. So I'll forever be thankful to them. This perfume, Ramz. I hate the bottle, to be very honest with you. The cap is ugly, the bottle is ugly, the color is really nice. I have used up quite a bit of liquid. I don't know, you can see it or not. This perfume is supposed to be a dupe for Alexander Zurjov's Alexandria too. And I actually forgot that this existed. It was right at the back. And you know the way the perfume bottle is, when it goes at the back in the darkness, it kind of like disappears in the dark. You can't see it. And it was in the corner. So I was like, you know what? I need to put this in the front. And I absolutely forgot how beautifully fresh, refreshing perfume this is. Like it makes me happy. It gives me the same feeling Shiaka gives me. They're not the same perfume. They don't smell alike, yeah? Just telling you how it makes me feel. They make me feel happy. Like immediately after spraying this, I feel like, oh, I need to go about my day. I can take on the day like strongly, happily, you know. The top notes for this are apple, pear, peach, sweet orange, and blackcurrant. Middle notes of jasmine, sambac, rose, and orange blossom. And the base notes of sandalwood, white musk, patchouli, and vanilla. It's so sweet, okay? It's like I wouldn't call this like realistic fruits at all. It is, they're definitely synthetic fruits, but they are very fresh synthetic fruits, right? Okay, fresh is not the right word. Refreshing, zesty, you know, it starts off like that. And then you have your florals in between and everything. So overall, this perfume just feels like very well-rounded and everything. Now, these perfumes also, what I'm making you guys understand, that all of them, they have been with me for over a year. And what happens to these perfumes? Initially, when I got this perfume, it was too fruity, too fresh, too like in your face. I still loved it. I was still wearing it because obviously like I finished quite a bit of it. But now it's like settled down. Probably it has become what it needed to be. Again, this is a fruit bomb, but it's one of the fruit bombs that you'll appreciate because it doesn't smell juvenile. So you will not think, oh, this is just another fruity fragrance, right? You'll be like, interesting. Smell it on other people, interesting. You'll just find this perfume overall interesting, and I quite like it. I think it's unisex. A guy can pull this off for sure. Why not? Why not fruity fragrances, right? For them as well. The projection is a good like 4 to 5 feet. The thing is, you have to go a little heavy-handed, and initially it'll claw you, but then as it like settles down in a couple of minutes, it like just becomes very, very beautiful. Initially, the longevity I felt was very poor on this one. It was like around 5 to 6 hours. Like right now, I would again say that it's 7 hours. It's not improved like 8 hours more, but 7 hours for a cheap perfume like this, I think it's like brilliant. It's fine. This I would say is a strict spring summer perfume. Actually, not even spring. I would wear this in summer because that's when it'll like come out strongly. You'll feel the freshness. You'll appreciate this fragrance much more in summer. My rating for this is like an 8 out of 10. Did I give a rating to Mazaaji? In case I did not, Mazaaji would also be an 8 out of 10. This is also an 8 out of 10. Mazaaji, I'm actually getting tempted to give it 8.5, but let's stick to 8. And this is your 8 out of 10 as well. Next we have Eternia Woman by Armaf. This is probably one of the ugliest bottles I own. The worst part is it opens like a Zippo lighter. I mean, I remember like a lot of Armaf perfumes, they all were like that. You know? Doesn't feel nice. I mean, in the hand it's fine, but you know, this whole thing of like, it just looks very crude, and you know, like those cheap perfumes, like very cheap packaging. Even the bottle, it like feels because the entire thing is plastic and so cheap. The good thing is that this does not come off, although it's like this leathery thing. The other side, it's plastic for some reason, weird. Anyhow, this is I would say like a bang-on dupe for Poison Girl by Dior. If you know the entire Poison line, whether it's the OG, whether it is Hypnotic Poison, whether it is the other one, the floral one, I forgot the name. Any of these perfumes, all of them, I love the entire range. That entire range, if I could just have that range and be like, Simin, you can only use those perfumes, I'll be fine. Those are like a complete range of everything I would want to have in my perfumes. Okay, maybe like a fresh solar or like beachy kind of perfume is missing from that range, but I don't like really mind, you know, I'm not that fond of beachy perfumes anyways. This, like if you like Poison Girl, you're gonna love this perfume. It's a very, very, very close to it, except for the longevity part, because obviously Eternia Woman, it's like, I would say like it lasts like maximum 7 hours and it reduces a lot in strength. But the residual scent on you will always stay that sweetness of Poison Girl. The top notes for this are bitter orange, orange blossom and lemon. Middle notes of almond, geranium, and rose, and the base notes of vanilla, tonka bean, and sandalwood. Remember when people used to make amazing perfumes like this? I mean, Poison Girl, you know? And now it's like florals, florals, and more florals, you know? I mean, this coming from a designer brand, like the whole Dior range was amazing, right? This retails for like $22, you know, and I think it's very difficult to get this. So if you find it, I think it's discontinued. I don't know if they've repackaged it or not. I'll see if in UA it's available anywhere. If I find it, I'll link it for you. But try finding it in like these like corner shops, you know, like where it's hidden. If you find it, just get it. And if I find it, I will get another bottle as well, because this is, I think, almost gone. And yeah, I just appreciate this perfume a lot. What does it smell like? Nice, beautiful florals, white florals, like such pretty florals. Like imagine your bitter orange with orange blossom and then lemon. That's the opening. It's very fresh floral. And then like the darkness starts coming in with the geranium, with the rose, the almond, tonka, and everything together. This is a very Dior, that poison range, right? Like the almond tonka part of it. Now, if you want to ask me if this has that played away thing like hypnotic poison, it does not have that at all. And then of course it settles down to a beautiful vanilla sandalwood with all those florals in the background. So I think this is like a brilliant perfume. I just wish this performed a little bit better, but then for $22, I mean, I got it for $22. I am sure if it's available right now in the market, it's going to be like much more expensive, because people know that people are desperately seeking out this perfume, you know. You know those perfumes that are discontinued, like for me it was also Gemma, the Roberto Cavalli's Paradiso range. It was so tough to find it, and when I finally found it, I paid like a lot of money for it. So yeah, this is another one of it. If you find it, just don't even think. If you like the poison range, just go for it. Yeah, it's beautiful. This is I would wear it all season, all weather, anytime during the day, to be honest with you. Projection is like 2 to 3 feet, and the longevity, still I'm struggling. I'm saying like 6 to 7 hours, like it's like a stretch, yeah. This had got 4.43 on Fragrantica, by the way. That's like a huge score, yeah. This one I would give it like a 9.5 out of 10. I love it so much. It's like one of my like favorite perfumes. As a matter of fact, today before going to work, like I'll spray this on myself, and then maybe throughout the day I'll keep changing my perfumes. Next we have another dupe, which is of La Nuit Tresor, and this is again from Armaf. So Armaf with their weird bottles, I mean, no. I know some people will love this bottle. I don't mind it. It's better than the other one at least. It has a little Armaf heart or something. I don't know. I don't know if this is like a lava lamp thing going on or clubbing thing going on. But this is a pretty accurate dupe of La Nuit Tresor. I mean, when you spray it, you'll definitely be like, smells like La Nuit Tresor. It's in the same range. Yeah, it has this, it changes like difference here and there, but it doesn't really matter. It's like a slightly, I feel, fresher version of La Nuit Tresor. So that's why I really like this perfume, because you know, sometimes the La Nuit Tresor, it can get a little bit much for you. And layering this, because I have the La Nuit Tresor, but I have the 2019 edition, right? It's a new formulation. If you mix the two and then keep topping up with this, so that you don't have to, you know, like use up all your original perfume, you can do that as well. This one has the top notes of pear, tangerine, and bergamot, middle notes of strawberry and passion fruit, and the base notes of praline, coffee, caramel, vanilla, and patchouli. So this does not have that chocolate and everything which was there in the OG version of La Nuit Tresor, which is why I'm telling you this is not the original version. This is the 2019 reformulated La Nuit Tresor version. On Fragrantica, this has got 4.18, which is not bad. If you're looking for a perfume, like the opening is very much like Ramz Gold. It's a very like citrusy, zesty fruits, but then it starts like going like really deep and becoming like a sexy perfume, and it gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter as it like dries down, you know. And that's thanks to all the praline, caramel, coffee. Like think of all these like beautiful edible notes. Perfume is not edible, by the way. It doesn't smell edible. It just smells very sexy. Like I feel La Nuit Tresor was one of the sexiest perfumes. If you did not like La Nuit Tresor, if it had like anything bothersome in that, you're not gonna like this either, because it's the same. It's the same DNA, you know. Also as maceration, it has macerated so much. It's become so much stronger. But still the longevity is like 6 to 7 hours, just like the other Armaf Eternia Woman. It's the same, you know, it's not lasting more than that. Like, and I don't think the juice is strong enough to macerate even more and get even better. The thing is that when I bought this perfume, it smelled exactly the same, and now also it's smelling the same. So kudos to them to at least release a perfume that was fully macerated, you know. And right now it's just that the fact that it's getting a little bit deeper and stronger, because that's with every other perfume. The longer it stays in your shelf, the darker it gets, the slightly more longevity, like every year kind of a thing, you know. I love this perfume, very, very beautiful. I feel this can be worn all year round, but like probably at nighttime for dinners, dates, like clubbing, partying, you know, like it feels like it's supposed to be worn in the dark, you know. It's very, very gorgeous scent. People say like it's a unisex perfume, but I think not. Guys can wear it if they want to, but like it's just such a feminine, you know, like feminine, sexy kind of perfume. So go for it if you like La Nuit Trousseau. It is one of the best dupes for it, and I quite like it. I'll show you another perfume that was again a dupe of La Nuit Trousseau, but let's just call it a Middle Eastern version of La Nuit Trousseau. And that's recently people have been asking me about this bottle as well, and I'm glad like that I'm reviewing this again. This is Dar Al Hae. It is by Ardal Zafran. I hate this thingy, you know. I'll probably get rid of it, I don't know, because it'll just look so much better without it. This smells exactly like La Nuit Trousseau, but it's slightly fresher, and it's, I feel, a little bit more incensey as well, although incense is not listed over here. But there's something in the background, I think it's the patchouli, but kind of like gives me like Middle Eastern incensey patchouli. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but a lot of like traditional Arabic perfumes, you know, the traditional oil forms and everything, the patchouli they have, it's a very sweet patchouli. It's earthy and it has a slightly incensey thing going on, and it reminds me of that. Like I feel like there's a small, slight hint of that as well. Now, while Armav's Signature was a very close dupe of La Nuit Trousseau, this one is in the same genre, you know, not DNA, like feels like when you smell it, you feel it smells something like La Nuit Trousseau, but it is not an exact dupe. Like you can call this like a younger sister of La Nuit Trousseau. It's a fruity vanilla. So yeah, but after like a couple of minutes, the vanilla starts hitting you so hard, like, and it's like that beautiful sweet vanilla, like the very common vanilla, nothing like very complicated or anything, like it's just a sweet normal vanilla that you'd imagine in cupcakes and baked stuff and everything. And then you have your beautiful fruits on top, with your amber and musk in the base. But I do feel like that patchouli, by the way, the top notes are lime and patchouli on the top. So weird. Middle notes of vanilla and sandalwood, and then the base notes of amber and musk. That's why I guess the vanilla comes in so fast, right? Because it's listed as a middle note, not a base note. So like from the get-go, like within a few like minutes, you start feeling like, wow, I can really smell the vanilla in this, right? But that patchouli is very slightly, like don't think that this is a strong incensey perfume. It is not. I'm just telling you the patchouli is like a sweet, earthy, slightly incensey patchouli, which I absolutely love at this fragrance because the balance is like perfect. It's not overwhelming at all. That patchouli doesn't bother you, doesn't make you feel like yuck, dirty, you know. No, it doesn't like ruin the perfume for you at all. It's a very good balance of perfume, and I think if you like a vanilla that's mildly fruity, you know, and it just like smells delectable, very simple to wear on day-to-day basis, go for Dar Al Hae. It got 4.09 on Fragrantic. I don't know why. I think it deserves like a lot more. But I guess because it's a very like, okay, it's a nice perfume. You know, that's it. It's nothing like, wow. I still love it. I still like, again, all these bottles. Look at that. I've barely used it. So I need to like put all these bottles in the front, you know. Of course, it's very easy to get carried away when you have that many perfumes. And like you guys know, I like to change my perfumes throughout the day. And I cannot carry all the perfumes, right? So the perfumes that are kept in the office, I use those a lot as well throughout the day. The projection for this is 2 to 3 feet. Longevity, I would say, again, like 6 to 7 hours. It's not very long lasting. But the price for it also, if I remember correctly, it took me a while to find it. I remember this was available outside Middle East, but not in the Middle East. But now I've been seeing the bottles popping up here and there again. So I don't know if Ardal Zafran has released it again or not, but at one point it had completely disappeared. So if you find this perfume like reasonably priced wherever you live, like go for it. If you like slightly fruity vanillic perfumes, go for it. Season for me, because it's so heavy in vanilla, I don't know why I'm like smacking, it's so annoying. But I smell, it's just like a little delicious smelling, right? So I don't know. Anyhow, so I think you can wear this like any season during the daytime. But of course, it'll smell better during spring and summer. My rating for this is like an 8.5 out of 10 because I think it'll be a perfume that I'll reach for a lot. It is a very, not a generic perfume. Yeah, it is kind of generic, but also at the same time you feel attracted to it. You want to wear it because it's very, very mass appealing. Next is something I've covered like recently in a lot of videos, like a lot of them. That's Ameerat Al Ehsas by again Ardal Zafran. This is your dupe for Crystal Noir. If you like Crystal Noir, it's like a no-brainer. It's not an exact dupe, but it's the same shampooy coconut ginger. When you smell this, just think of night time. You're dressed up, you're going to a party where you wear black clothes and red shoes or something, I don't know. I had put this in my vampire fragrances compilation. Like I just think it's a noir. Like think of the name Versace Crystal Noir. It just gives me that. Actually, even this bottle, I know the cap sometimes is white. I don't know why they've done that. Like the black cap looks so much better on it, you know. But if you get the white cap also, it's the same perfume, right? I like it a lot. The top notes are coconut and ginger with cardamom and black pepper. So it's a spicy coconut in the opening. Then you have the middle notes of gardenia, orange blossom and peony. Out of all the florals, I would say orange blossom and gardenia in equilibrium like are there, but like they're not prominent notes. The prominent notes are the top notes. And then you have the base of white musk, amber and sandalwood. But predominantly you'll be smelling the spices with coconut, which is amazing. The ginger is very, very prominent in this, but it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't irk you. It's a very smooth perfume. Smells like a lotion, you know? It's like a very, very smooth perfume. I don't like wearing this to the office and everything, but sometimes I get compelled because it calls me like, say, you know, like just pick it up and I wear it and I love it. It's like, maybe some people will find it like similar to some hair products, like the salon hair products, like the hairspray or shampoo or something. It has a salon vibe, right? But if you don't go in that direction, it just smells like a very well put together woman who is going clubbing, who got ready to go clubbing. It's like a femme fatale. Yeah, I have to mention that when I think of a perfume that's strong and, you know, like very, very attractive. It's like a femme fatale fragrance. The projection for this is like a good 3 to 4 feet. It projects quite a bit. And the longevity also, I would say it's like, initially when I got this perfume, it was pathetic. It was like 4 hours or so. Now it is like 7 hours. For me, this is a 10 out of 10 perfume. Like, I know, wait, not 10 out of 10. Dupe, right? So 9 out of 10. Yeah, 9.5 I would like to give it to it, but let's keep it as 9 out of 10. And for me, this is like you can wear it anytime during the night, any season. I have 3 more perfumes for you, but I don't have the notes in front of me. So I'm going to just use like Fragrantica for the ingredients, the ratings and everything. And let me tell you about long time ago, I was obsessed with this fragrance like crazy. This is before I knew that it was sort of kind of duping Herba Pura. And that's your La Yucawam Jasmine Wisp by Rasasi. Now this range of Rasasi is beautiful. I'm still intending to get the La Yucawam Femme and La Yucawam Orchid Prairie. Especially the Orchid Prairie. It's on my radar. See, now I don't know why I stopped using this perfume. I know, actually I know why I stopped using this perfume. It was because it started like smelling, it's very similar to Herba Pura. The thing is that all the dupes that had released of Herba Pura, of course they were very close to Herba Pura. This one has like something different about it. So it's not exactly duping Herba Pura, but it's the same DNA. So it's like the same notes with some added notes here and there. Now initially, you know, because it has like that difference from that that musk is not like you want to get sick, that sweet sickly musk in Herba Pura, it's not there. The fruits are the same, the fruits part of it is exactly the same, but it has like something else in the background and I can't quite like put my finger on it. Let me tell you the notes for it. By the way, it's got 4.13 on Fragrantica right now. Mandarin orange in the top with grapefruit and lemon. Honestly, you can't smell them individually. It just smells like Herba Pura, like all the fruits together, right? Middle notes are passion fruit with white flowers, pear, peach and coconut. It's a medley of God knows what and what. So it has that coconut and white florals, which kind of give it that tropical perfume kind of vibe. Sunscreen vibe, or some people call it Maldives vibe, you know, like that kind of thing. So that's there with the passion fruit as well. So passion fruit, white florals and coconut. I think it's that's giving it that little edge, you know. And the base notes, of course, are vanilla, tonka bean and amber. So very mellow, and yeah, it doesn't have musk at all. Let me see, what is it compared to? It's compared to Urban it's compared to Kirke by Tiziana Terenzi. And Herba Pura has got a very bad score, by the way. So Herba Pura has like white musk, yeah. So yeah, I'm right. First of all, it has the coconut and the white florals, and it does not have freaking musk like Herba Pura. So I do like this perfume right now as well. I think I'm gonna leave it because this was my second bottle and it's also almost halfway done. So I will start using this, but perhaps not right now. Maybe like once fall starts, when the summer reduces and the trauma of Herba Pura perfumes are gonna get out of my mind. I have the Herba Pura decant, but I don't feel like using it so early in the morning and upsetting myself. So I'm not gonna take that out. So let's say this is like a more tropical version of Herba Pura, and I still do like this perfume. I needed a break from it, influx of all these dupes. So now I've had that rest, and I feel like this perfume is very, very wearable. Again, I love the bottle. Oh, it feels so nice in the hand. It's so, like, I don't know, so beautiful. Even the color and everything is so pretty. So yeah, that's your Jasmine Wisp. I would say like you can wear this in all weather during daytime. Evening also, I don't mind wearing it, but like I think I would stick to wearing this during the daytime. Of course, it leans like quite feminine. The projection I would say is like 3 to 4 feet because it projects strongly. It projects slowly but strongly, and the longevity of this perfume is insane. It's 8+ hours. I would even go further to say that it's 12 hours, but let's stick to 8+ hours. Yeah. The next perfume I have for you is a perfume that was again like very like it had divided reception. This is the Khaltat Al Arabia Royal Blends by Latafa. That's the bottle. Pretty, pretty. So with the Khaltat Al Arabia Royal Blends, it immediately reminds me of plum and powder in the opening. When plum is not really listed as a note, okay, let me tell you first of all, the rating for this perfume is 4.06. So okay, reception. Actually, 4 score is quite decent. A lot of people do like it, right? The top notes for this are fruits and apple. Middle notes of spices, nutmeg and clove. And the base notes of amber, musk and woodsy notes. So when you see this, you're like, oh my gosh, it's going to be an overwhelming scent. It is very Middle Eastern, thanks to the spices. The kind of musk, amber and the woodsy notes. I also feel like slight bit of oud is there. Maybe in that woodsy notes, it's hidden somewhere. So I do feel like a mild oud is there, but I don't know why. It reminds me of a little bit of a boozy fermented plum in the opening with powder. So the powder is kind of negating the very, very strong ripeness, like almost gone bad fruit. So it smells like nice in the opening. But then it starts like drying down, and then the spices starts revealing themselves, like your spices, nutmeg, clove, but they again are not very overwhelming. So this perfume, although like people will assume when they see the notes that it's going to be a super overwhelming, very like kind of like it'll get to you. It is not. It is a beautiful fragrance, but of course you need to like this kind of perfumes. It is slightly powdery, in my opinion. I know not everybody gets that. And the fruits are very overripe fruits. It's not like fruity fruits, fresh fruits, or synthetic fruits. And like the moment, the image I get in my head is a spiced wine or something. Like that's how that's what it reminds me of in my head. But it's difficult to like explain this perfume because it is very, very Middle Eastern, but at the same time, it's a very different kind of perfume. That's why I've never decluttered this. I have not used a whole lot of it. Okay, maybe I have used a whole lot of it, but this is very a winter perfume, not even like fall. Like I feel I can wear this in winter because of that spiciness and everything. It's a comforting scent as well because it feels like a warm hug, because it's like a really, really hot perfume because of all the spices. And because the fruits are also like the boozy fruits, it's very comforting. Just like makes you feel like you're sitting in a wooden cabin in like where it's snowing outside, and then you're wearing this perfume. No, I know I said the same thing about all the Angel Share dupes, but this also like gives me the same kind of vibe, like cabin in the woods, but it's snowing outside, but you wore this like for comfort. I don't know, the spices definitely have cinnamon. Like everything is like coming out very, very slowly, and I'm telling you, the spices become a little bit more prominent the more the perfume settles down. Now last but not the least is Oud Mood. Yeah, I've not visited this for a long time. I've used up quite a bit of it, but I don't know if I've bought like this is the second bottle or the first, because I remember I was like using this like all the time. So this was like one of the many dupes released for Lancome's Oud Bouquet at that time. But I'll tell you something, Lancome's Oud Bouquet is not an original perfume. It's a very regular Middle Eastern blend of oud and roses. So I would not say that they were the OG creators. Like, no, please. Every other Middle Eastern perfume smells like of roses and oud, you know. So if you like your oud, saffron, roses combination, like Shagaf Oud, this one. If you ask me what's the difference between Shagaf Oud and this is a little bit more smoky and woody, yeah. And why I like this one better than the Shagaf Oud original, you know, is because of that reason. That woody smokiness, it just makes you feel a little bit like, okay, it's like a little bit of bakhur as well in it, although there is not. The top notes for this are rose, saffron and pimento. Middle notes of agarwood, caramel, floral notes and patchouli. And the base notes are woodsy notes, brazils, amber, incense and musk. Okay, so it has incense, that's why I feel like bakhur, you know. But it just feels a little bit more woody and less rosy. Shagaf Oud on the other hand was like more rosy, less woody and oudy, right? So think of like a more colder version of Shagaf Oud, more woody, slightly more incensey. It's beautiful. All you smell in this, like initially, is like the rose, saffron and oud, which continues throughout the journey till the end of the perfume. But then of course towards the dry down, you start smelling the balsams, like your amber and everything coming out, and it just smells amazing. Incensiness is not very strong, so don't think, oh my god, it's going to be like a sweet incensey perfume. It is a sweet perfume, not as sweet as Shagaf Oud though, and it is definitely not super incensey that will give you a headache or something. If you like spray like 1 to 2 sprays of this and then let it sit and then go out of the house, people might actually come up to you and ask you what you're wearing. Like I always said, this was like an introduction to oud, like a gateway to oud, and many people disagreed with me, and that's perfectly fine because oud is not an ingredient that you can just like get yourself introduced to. But yeah, this like, maybe don't spray it on yourself, spray it somewhere else and then like keep smelling it like, you know, in a distance. And I think this is like one of those oud that's the most non-offensive, doesn't have that barnyard quality, doesn't have a very strong incense quality, it does have incensiness but not that strong. And plus it's not very potent, like there are other notes in this that are more prominent, like the woodsy notes, and that's why I feel like this is like a better way of like introducing yourself to oud. This is a 10 out of 10 fragrance for me. I love this perfume a lot. And while anybody might tell me that no, this is like a dupe for Bouquet Ideal, why am I saying that again and again? Lancome's Oud Bouquet, I don't think so. I think this is one of the OG Middle Eastern fragrances. They have bottled it up, and it just so happened that during that time all the designers were releasing oud, saffron, rose combinations, adding different stuff. So now this is like a 10 out of 10 for me. I love it. I love the bottle. I love how it looks. I love everything about this perfume. This is going to be in my collection forever, and it's a dirt cheap perfume. I think it's like less than $20 in UAE, and I'm sure you guys don't get it for more than $25. I'm sure it's like a very cheap perfume. It's a very old perfume now. So that was me revisiting all these old perfumes, all these old babies. Like I actually like felt really good because I remember the first time I sprayed these perfumes and how I felt. And at that time I was newly into reviewing perfumes and everything. I didn't have like much of financial means to actually buy perfumes. So I remember I used to get like such few perfumes like to review, maybe like 3 perfumes a month, and then I would like keep reviewing it like the same perfumes again and again, you know. Kind of reminds me of a time where I was just getting into YouTube and I had this little anxiety of what's gonna happen, this, that, you know. So it was nice to, you know, revisit the past. And I think like all these perfumes, I like them a lot. None of them are getting decluttered, so they all are going to move in the front, you know, hopefully. I'll try to figure out how I'm going to do that, but they all have to move in the front. Or at least I'll make a different shelf for like older perfumes so that when I feel like nostalgic, I mean 1 year is not nostalgia, but still, you know what I mean? Like when you're like constantly reviewing new perfume and new perfume trends, it's very difficult to stay in touch with, like, even 1-year-old perfumes are like old now. For me, it's like old school, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna keep them on a different shelf so that I can reach for them more often. I hope you like this video, guys. I don't know why I made this video, but it was just that people were asking me about Dar Al Hae. Somebody mentioned this combination of Oud Mood with Ramz Gold, I think. Oh yeah, that's a very good combination, by the way. If you've not tried it, try it. She reminded me that, like, I had told her about this combination. So, you know, all these things were playing in my head, and recently I put henna and then I could smell that Mazaaji. So, you know, I was like, okay, let me just make this video. It's kind of like, intuitively, I was like being guided, like, go make this video. So I hope you like it. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.